Hi there, you're very welcome to our student spotlight. Today we're speaking to Jemma, who is a third year BSc Bachelor of Science student, and you are very welcome. Hello.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Jemma, you're living down in Kildare, I believe.
Yes, I am.
Tell us more. Whereabouts exactly are you?
I live in Ballymore Eustace, which is just on the kind of near the border of Wicklow and Kildare, and I'm about 10 minutes, 15 minutes out of Naas.
Okay, so you're commuting, I think, to the university. Are you under normal circumstances?
Yeah, normally I would be. I have to rely on my poor parents to drive me into Naas in the mornings and the evenings to catch the bus straight up here. But commuting from Naas is quite good as well because there's multiple options. So I take the 139, which runs directly into the town, but there's also the coaches that go straight into the university, which is really handy.
Okay, so there's a few different options there for you to take. And so take us back to being a fifth year, sixth year. Did you do transition year in school actually?
I did, yes.
So, well, actually, yeah, transition year. Tell us, did that give you any insights into what you might like to do after school?
Yes. So when I was in transition year, I wanted to do medicine and be a doctor. All my work experiences, I did 8 in total. I think some are only 1 day things, but I was going out into hospitals to try on their different programs to try and see what it was like to be a doctor. And it was an amazing experience, and I was like, I love it. And from them courses, I realized that I loved chemistry more than anything else, which was funny considering that I wanted to go in to be a doctor and I relied a lot on biology, and it turns out I was terrible at biology. So going into fifth year, I chose chemistry and also experiment physics, because physics was I found that quite interesting as well, and I wanted to do 2 sciences and not do biology, so that was kind of my only options. But then I also took French and music, so a different mix there, but I really liked all my subjects.
Wow, that's a really interesting mix, actually. So yeah, so you kind of got both sides of the brain going on there. I'm an arts graduate, but you sort of have both humanities and so okay. But science was what you wanted to do, and chemistry you loved, and so filling out that CAO form. I mean, Maynooth is as much of a, let's just say it's not as easy to get to as other universities, just as difficult. So how did you decide on Maynooth for your science degree?
Um, yes, so it was actually when I was in transition year, kind of finding everything out. We went up to the open day in Maynooth, and I fell in love with the campus and the atmosphere and talking to the different students. It was great to see what it was like to study there, and I knew that that was the place for me. It's really cheesy, but I loved it so much. So filling out my CAO was, I knew I had Maynooth in mind, and again, I knew I wanted to do chemistry, but I also quite liked physics, so I didn't want to get rid of that either. So I went for the general science option, the BSc, because then there was a lot more flexibility with my choices and stuff. And thankfully, I put that on my CAO as my number one, and I got in, which I was delighted about. Over the moon.
So tell us about the BSc. What is particular about our Bachelor of Science degree?
Yes, so what I absolutely love about the Bachelor of Science is that when you come into first year, you have to do 4 subjects. So you have to do mathematics, which was something I was dreading because I was not the best at maths when I was in 5th and 6th year. But it going into the degree, you knew how relevant it was to have that subject. So I'm really happy they made us do it. Then you chose 3 other subjects. So you can choose between, when I was coming in, it was electronic engineering, experimental physics, theoretical physics, chemistry, computer science, and biology. So they were my choices. And or critical skills, actually, that was another one that I forgot about. But so I chose chemistry and experimental physics because I'd done them both in school, and they were, as I was saying before, I knew that's kind of the path I wanted to go down. And we had to do maths, and then I was terrible at biology. So I was trying to find what else I wanted to do. And with that, I chose computer science to fill that extra slot because in the off chance that I liked it, I didn't have to do maths in second year. That's what the whole thought process was about. So they were the three subjects that I chose. And then when you go into your second year, you drop one of them subjects. If you did critical skills, you have to drop critical skills, which is why I didn't take it. And funny enough, going into second year, what did I drop? Chemistry, the one thing that I thought I was coming into Maynooth to do forever. Yeah. Turns out I was useless at it. I loved the chemistry department. I loved the labs and the lectures, but it was not my calling. I fell in love with computer science and all the problem solving techie aspects that I'd never experienced before.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really strange. So then when you go into your third year, which is where I am now, you drop another subject at the end of your second year. So I dropped experimental physics, of all things, again, the one thing I thought I'd keep going. And I've kept maths on this whole time. The one
it's a whole 360, isn't it?
It really, really is. It's crazy. And then again, I'll finish off with the degree. So when you go into your final year, you can choose to do a single major. So you pick one of the subjects you had in your third year, or you can double major in both. Right now, I don't know. As you can tell, I'm quite indecisive. So I will either be double majoring in computer science or mathematics, or single majoring in computer science, because that is what I love and that's kind of what I want to do forever.
Right. And they are very good together in terms of a combination, right? I mean, the maths and computer science is a
yeah, they really are. They do. They complement each other so much. And it's only from doing maths you realize how useful it is. Even from the couple of years I had with chemistry and experimental physics, you learn so much in even just first year maths that is still helping you now. So no, they complement each other so well, and I'm really happy that I chose them subjects.
So why do you think that you have gone from maths being sort of something that you had to take in first year with a bit of a heavy heart to now it's one of your potential double major final year subjects? What is it like? Did you study honours maths for your leaving cert, higher level?
Yeah, I did. And funny enough, throughout my 5th and 6th year, I barely stayed in honours maths. It was, I don't know what it was about honours maths that when I was in secondary school, I couldn't, I didn't understand it very well. And I did scrape by. I kept up in the honours class and I did pass for my leaving cert, which I was delighted about because you had to pass maths to get into university. So I was slightly worried.
Sciences, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I don't know what it was. When I came here, I think you were doing less subjects and you were almost brought back to the basis of your modules. So in first year, I did differential calculus, integrational calculus, and I think I should be able to say these, shouldn't I? And linear algebra. And taking them modules bit by bit, you got such a new understanding than you never really got in secondary school because they were taken so slow and so separate. And you saw how beneficial they were in your other subjects, that it made me look at maths in a way I'd never looked at before, and actually appreciate it for what it was. And I've kept it going, and even now, it's mad.
Isn't that part of the joy of college, though, that you do get to choose your chosen degree that you want to study, but also then you get to focus on in real depth in those particular areas and get to fully understand them, I guess. And yeah, you probably got some nice people in the department there as well to help you along in the maths department and computer science.
Yes, definitely.
And of course, the Math Support Centre is available for anyone who does need that bit of extra help.
Yeah, it was a lifesaver. And the Computer Science Support Centre, they have one as well.
Yes.
That is taught by students. I actually tutor there now myself.
Mm.
And it was an amazing resource, and I hope it continues to be as well.
Yeah. What about then getting off the bus in Maynooth on that first day, or well, assuming that's how you got yourself up there? What was it like then, your first day or your first few days in Maynooth?
Yeah, it was different. I luckily enough, I came through here, so the higher education access route. So I think it was a weekend or two before we started, I was up on Launchpad. So I had a tour of the campus. I knew kind of where everything was. So going in my first day, I did not feel as lost as I could have.
Yeah.
Which was a really beneficial on my part because I get lost a lot. So coming in my first day, there was no one from my class or my year that from secondary school in my new course. So I was totally on my own. And I did feel kind of lost, but at the same time, I knew I'd be going to meet people who had the same interests as me, or at least I thought I did because I thought I liked chemistry. So going in that first day, the news almost looks slightly different. I suppose when you're coming into open days, you see it as it's your future. It's somewhere that you might end up going. And then actually to be there and walking the campus and knowing that this is where you're going to be for the next 3 or 4 years was such an incredible experience. I can't really put it into words. Then trying to find my lecture halls was quite funny as well. But then once you got into the group that were in your course, even though I was general science and a lot of us were in different classes and different subjects, you do see a pattern of the same people in your same modules, and it's from then on you know if you're lost, just follow them, they'll show you the way. So that's really good as well.
And what about the workload then? So moving from 6th year into 1st year in college, how did you find that?
It was definitely different for me. So I remember I often struggled, especially with English essays, when I was in secondary school. So coming into Maynooth was quite different. Our workload consisted of weekly assignments for maths, when in school you had them every night. And then you'd have weekly lab reports for physics and experimental physics and chemistry. There I am, going again, forgetting my subjects. And that again was different because we touched on lab reports in school, but that was the work that you were being graded on. And then every now and then you'd have, I think every 2 weeks for chemistry, you had assignments, and physics every month, I believe. It was a while ago now, but definitely the workload felt a lot less. But you were then taking it upon yourself to do your own work. And I think the freedom that you felt in deciding when you wanted to do your homework, knowing that it was due on the Friday or the following Monday, really made you feel like you were learning a lot more because you were doing something that you loved and something that you wanted to actually do. And then you were taking it upon yourself to learn that. And I found it so much more beneficial than I did in secondary school, which I probably shouldn't say, but definitely for me.
It's part of the maturing process as well, I suppose, as is, the challenge of arriving into a degree and not being distracted by all the fun and on the campus as well. So did you pursue your musical interests in terms of extracurricular stuff or clubs and societies?
I actually didn't. Once I got a taste for STEM, I just loved it so much. Music kind of went out the window. I listened to music on the bus. That's kind of as far as it went. And when I was in 1st year, I didn't really get involved in clubs and societies, which I look back at that now and I wish I had got more involved, but it is not the end and the be all. I made friends on my course, which was great, all with more or less similar interests. And then from 2nd year onwards, I got more involved. I became an academic rep for the Student Union, and I then joined the Women in STEM Society, which is like my love now. I love it so much. Currently, I am the current president of that society, which I
What is Women in STEM? Tell us what happens in the Women in STEM Society.
Yeah, so Women in STEM is a society all about supporting and encouraging women and girls in Maynooth to feel comfortable and confident in their chosen degrees and their fields they want to go into. Because for a lot of them, which is STEM, so science, technology, engineering and maths, so you struggle there for a minute, it's been a while. For a lot of them subjects and industries, they're very male denominated. or dominated, sorry.
They can be, yeah. Historically, they
Yeah.
certainly have been. More.
Even looking at some of the departments for the lectures, there's very few women there. So the whole purpose of our society is to show these women and girls on campus that what they're doing is right. They deserve to be there, and we're here to encourage and help them in any way we can. Great. From CV and LinkedIn workshops to help them get jobs and internships, and panel discussions with past graduates and women in these different industries. So it's amazing. Yeah. I love being part of it.
That's very, very positive work indeed. So you have a bit of time then to get involved outside of your course, but it's a fairly full-on course as well, isn't it? Between labs and your study and your assignments and lectures and everything. So do you think I know there's opportunities to get involved in research, isn't there, during the summer? Have you ever thought about that? Or
yeah, luckily enough, I did one of them last summer. So I was part of the SPUR program, so the summer program for undergraduate research, and I actually did it with the computer science department again, which is great. But it's a oh my gosh, it's been a while now.
Over the period,
I believe.
Yeah, between 6 and 8 weeks, I think.
Yeah, I was trying to remember how many mine was for. Where you do research with your department on a chosen project that you apply to, and then you get chosen for. So I was really, really lucky to have been chosen for mine. With COVID, I was doing it from home, so that again was a totally new experience that I never thought. I thought I'd be up in Maynooth working in like the labs and the research rooms, but
what was the subject area? What was it you were researching?
Yeah, so I was developing games for immersive learning through the use of a platform called Breakout EDU. So I was making games to be used adjacent to the first year undergraduate computer science curriculum in escape room type games. So I would be making these games on the platform based on their curriculum. And they were like, you had to crack the clues to get into a box, like a breakout room. And you were able to make virtual ones and also realistic ones. So to be played in the lab or in the classroom. But unfortunately, from being at home, that proved quite difficult, but it was an amazing experience. My first touch into research, and it was great to learn so many different skills from that itself, and how that's affecting the industry.
That's super. So how do you think you'll spend the next semester and then leading into the summer? Do you have any plans yet, or can you make plans?
Yeah, I actually do, surprisingly enough. So this semester, I'm continuing my work with Women in STEM and also in the Student Union, where I am the Science and Engineering part-time officer, which is really another real it's an amazing opportunity. It does show you that even though your course is full on, you still have loads of time to get involved with anything. So I will be getting all my roles there, but also when the semester finishes up, I'm starting an internship with Amazon as a software developer. Yes, and then I am going to be deferring my next year to continue working with Amazon, and then to start another internship with Unity, which is actually in game development, which came from my research project last summer. And then I'll be coming back and completing my final year 1 year later, but I'm super excited for all these opportunities.
Absolutely, Gemma, well done. That's it just goes to show as well that extracurricular stuff, it really helps, doesn't it, with the CV and just getting yourself sort of all those skills that you can sort of bring out into industry. Great. Can you just tell us, do you have words of advice for a potential Maynooth student of maybe your course or just in general?
Okay, so often there are times where you think that you might know what you want to do, and if that is what you want to do, go for it. But with Maynooth and with nearly all their courses, there are so many options to change between courses and to explore and kind of try out different subjects, like with the arts degree and then with the BSc, the general science. for me, for my first 6 weeks, we were able to sit in different lectures and decide what we wanted to do. So if you are like me and know what you want to do, but at the same time don't know what you want to do, it's an amazing course because you get to try everything out and you get to make your own mind up. And that is kind of what university and college is all about, trying new things and finding who you are. When I was in secondary school, I never thought that I would be president of Women in STEM or involved in a student union. I thought I was going to complete my degree in chemistry and go off to work in a lab, but things change and you do as well. So university is about finding yourself, and don't be afraid to put yourself out there and go research. I did a lot of research.
You did indeed, and you are a real tonic. It was lovely to talk to you today, Jemma. That's great in terms of the flexibility and choice and the opportunities, and that you've obviously brought for yourself as well. So well done on all that. And yeah, best of luck in your next moves.
Thank you so much.